Hi folks, it's me, Nicky Hamid, for those of you who come on and don't know who's speaking. Nicky Hamid. I am a brother, just a brother, and I'm here on earth and I am celebrating being here, the privilege and the joy of being here on earth. And I want to speak about that because 3D, being in 3D, being here in physicality has been so maligned. You know all about the Matrix, and you know the schemes and the plots, and you know about how humanity fell and how you came into this incarnation thinking you could wing it and do it easily, that you would be able to forget, but there's no way you could forget who you were and source of all that is, the mind of God, and you as a point of light in the mind of God. That is who you are, that is who I am. And we knew that, and we've always known it. And there was no way we thought we could think of not knowing it. But you came here and you forgot. And you forgot because you went to the depth of being in 3D, in the density, to experience what density was all about. But in fact, it's all you. And to think that enlightenment is the process of going beyond 3D is just utter bullshit. In fact, I like to say it's elephant shit or dinosaur shit. It's so ludicrous. If you are a point of light in the mind of God, and you are of source, and this aspect, precious soul that you are, is coming into body, surely you realize that your first D, second D, third D, fourth D, fifth D, la-di-da-di-da, on and on and on. This is who you are. This is who you are. And how can you be whole being 1D, 2D, 4D, 5D? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. You are here. We are here to experience the density, the dense dimension, 3D, to its fullest. And to be here now as the beautiful divine being you are. So you're coming into the body. And we have to teach the body or tell the body, our density, our beautiful vehicle of density, that it's safe, because we are marrying, we are blending together, we are becoming 3D is becoming a part of us. And to become a conscious part of you, you have to own it all. And now, Ascension living on earth is about you being human in the fullest. You've come and you've learned what you're not as human. So now it's time to learn what you are as human. to play, to enjoy, to make light of things, and to experience the ups and downs. And it's all good. It's all good. And the problem, if there ever was a problem, is that in learning what you're not, you tried to get away from what you're not. So everyone's looking for the star, belonging to the star being, to this star nation or that star nation, to try and become a master and reach the masters who are out there. Poppycock. It's just all utter poppycock. You're it. I'm it. The point of light within the mind of God. That's who I am and whom I always have been. So I look at my life and I look at all the things I've done, and whereas people are moving very quickly, I see my life, my path was one of slow motion. I did it all in slow motion. I did it all slowly, methodically, step by step. And I've never been asleep. Sometimes I've been sleeping, but I've never been asleep. Not since I can remember, at a year dot. I don't want to, at this point, go into my life, but it's fascinating. It's fascinating, my life, because I see that in my life, I've telescoped this whole ascension. Because when I was 18, I saw what was going to happen, what's happening now. I come from the future. And we all know, really, that there's no past. There's no future. There's only now. But I came from the future and I see where we are going. Not the exact details, but I saw what we were going through. And now I have realized that my whole life has taken me through that process, step by step by step. So I can say, I am a descended master. I know that. And I know you are becoming that. You are already that. You've done this ascension journey before. And none of us are more equal than anyone else. We're all points of light within the mind of God. Beautiful, unique, diverse points of light. And you've been on your long journey of experiences, and you will continue to. Because ascension is not an end of it. It's just another part of this eternal journey of expansion and connection and knowing. So now it's time to know 3D, to belong, to have your feet firmly planted on terra firma, and bringing the truth of who you are, the love, through your heart into everything you do. Because Gaia is making her journey. But it helps greatly for you for her to have your love, your joy anchored here on earth, with your feet planted firmly on the earth. Not firmly in midair. Doesn't make sense. Not up there. It's in here, And so we integrate everything. We've had traumas, and there's still a lot of chaos going on. And it's serious, but it's funny. It is so funny. It is so funny how we get ourselves into a tiswas, how we make such a meal and a mouthful of everything. Look at all these ascension symptoms that people are talking about, and waiting for the next one, and looking at the next forecast, and saying, wow, yes, I've had that. Oh, I haven't had that yet. Oh, maybe there's something wrong. It's so simple. You get everything you need in your daily life. You get everything you need, and you have everything you need. And if you don't know something, open your heart, ask, and it will come because you have it all in your field. The light packets are all there, everything you've experienced, and all the potentialities are in your field, So as we open our heart and we breathe, and we sigh our relief, and we smile, we blow, if you like, breathe our energy of knowing into our field, it enlivens those packets, those light packets. And they come in through your chakras, primarily through your navel, the gut. That's where your intuition is in your gut. Your gut knows. Heart is the love know. And brain is the wisdom know. When we get the little mind out of the brain. 3 brains. Head brain, heart brain, and gut brain. And being an embodiment, we learn to listen to the gut brain. The gut brain, it has an amazing community of microbes in the body that know exactly what to do. So it behooves us to unstress, to lighten up, to chill out and play. Because your forgetting and your trauma and your suffering is a whole conception of being human that we have inherited from the unknowing, That's my wife trying to be quiet. And she is. I see you. Okay. So, Glenn, bless her heart. My pal. Anyway, humanity, being human, has been so maligned. We have a whole religious tradition in the West that has talked about being born in sin. You know, that somehow being a human being was being defiled. No, it wasn't defiled. It was other humans and the matrix that we developed that defiled and took away our innocence in all its forms and in all its horrors to destroy your innocence. And now it's time to bring it back. Remember, Jesus said, except ye be as little children, you cannot enter into the kingdom of heaven. To be light-hearted, to play, to smile, to see the possibilities and the humor and the excessive preoccupation with getting things right. You're already right. You're already perfect as you are. So it's about relaxing into it. And even the so-called clearing is just coming up because it's leaving. So you say, wow. I say, wow, Nicky. How beautifully you constructed that one. I see you. I'm just saying, I see you. Thank you. It's enough to free yourself. And so the heart opens further. And so your access into your field and the expansion of your field grows with every breath you breathe out, love, into your field. And it's not about fixing or saving anyone else. It's about being the joy that you love being. It is a choice in every moment. And so I keep digressing. But back to human being put down. We've maligned being human. We've maligned 3D as if it's some horror place that was developed or created for us to suffer. No, density is not the place you suffer. Duality is not your problem. It's just taking it too seriously and not playing in it. So it's now the time to play. So I might meet somebody and have a totally different point of view, and I don't really understand it. But it doesn't stop me from enjoying the difference and not trying to resolve their view with my view, their truth with my truth. But just lauding the difference and enjoying it. Knowing who you are, being who you are. And I tend not to like the idea of inner child. Bring out the inner child, because that's a separation talk too. Because this Nicky fellow that I have created and you see in front of you and I am experiencing right now is so childish. I sometimes gulp at what I do. Not really childish, it's childlike. I can't stand things too serious for too long. I remember an incarnation where I was a monk, and we're living on, I think it was somewhere in on the coast of the Mediterranean, high up in this castle-like monastery by the sea. And we were in the cloisters often, meditating and praying and having hymns and songs. And I loved the adoration of the Creator and now I know my brother, Jesus, and in other incarnations, Buddha, Kuan Yin, them all. But I loved that. But I came out, and they would all come out, humble, and I couldn't stand it then. I used to get up on the battlements, hold my robe up, and do a dance. Can you imagine it? Too much to the consternation of some of my brothers. But I think I can't imagine myself as being serious all the time. I have a song. Let me sing it to you. I've sung it before. Ooh-wee, life's a play. Whatever comes along, well, it's okay. Walk with wings and fly with feet and drop your mind in total defeat. Nothing makes sense. No, nothing makes sense. And I ain't going nowhere. So, human is magnificent. Human is courageous. Human is vulnerable. Human is innocent. Human is wise. Human is creative. Human is expansive. Human loves to try new things. Human loves new. See with the eyes of love, and you will see and feel all this. This is why we're here. This is Ascension. Do what you do to the fullest of your heart, and it doesn't matter which, because in the smallest touch, it touches us all. It's a quantum field. We're all in it together. Every drop, every speck of love adds to the worldwide grid of love and to our unity of purpose, our unity with Gaia, our unity with all realms, both here and in the cosmos, because it's all in here. And if you have any duty, your duty is to play and have fun, to find your joy wherever it is and live it. No more excuses, no more BS. To be human is to be divine. To be in 3D is as a divine dimension as any other. But it's what you and I make it. We make it through our lives, however we find it. And if you don't like your circumstances, you change it by finding your joy. To understanding and knowing your worthiness. Not that you've done things so you deserve. It's not about deserving. You are worthy. You find your worthiness, and the universe will bring more that makes you experience your worthiness. Why would you be here otherwise? Why would you have been chosen when thousands of others wanted to come to have that experience? And there was no room for them all. And they stepped aside willingly for you to come. Why would you come here? When you're of source and joy and love, the matrix, people say it's an illusion. Well, yeah, in a sense it's an illusion, but it's as real until it's not. It's a choice. The matrix is a play. It's a play until it's not. It's a play until you give it no more power, because you're taking yourself back. Be ye as little children. The meek shall inherit the earth. Such cosmic truth. And it isn't just in Christianity. It's all in all religions. Because when you read Muhammad, read between the lines, read with the Quran with the heart, and you see something totally different. The same with the Vedas. The Bhagavad Gita, which is the one most common, the Bhagavad Gita, one of the Vedas, or it's called the Song Celestial, is about Krishna, the Lord Krishna, the Ascended Master, if you like, Krishna, coming to Arjuna, the Pandu prince, on the battlefield. Arjuna has to lead his people, whom he loves dearly, against the enemy, who are made up of clansmen and people he loves dearly. And he has to lead them. And he's on this dilemma, and he doesn't want to go into battle. He's waiting to go into the charge. And so the whole book is about this dilemma. But beautiful teaching about what the real self is, who you are, who you really are. And the Tao Te Ching, written by the great sage Lao Tzu. And Lao Tzu was in these roundabout, I think it's 100 years after the Buddha, and his teachings. Another beautiful way of saying the same thing. You're it. You are it. So as beautiful human you are, forgetting all the lies told about what humans are, speaking to your body with a reverence and delight, so that it hears you and deletes all those messages about how you're unclean, how you're sinful. Sin actually means being off the mark. That's all. That's all. It has nothing to do with evil. But just getting past all this, you're here for a purpose. You defeat the purpose if you're trying to get away from 3D. Dive in. Be you and dive in. There's the courage you need. That's the courage you need. You're going to feel vulnerable, and that's part of regaining your innocence. Going into your vulnerability and finding out that the other side of it is just joy, love, compassion, and the feeling of confidence and competence. It's amazing, as so many of my dear friends here on Facebook will show you. Feel the peace, this peace of knowing. Nothing else to do but this next step, your next step, whatever's in front of you. Be kind, loving, gentle to you. And for heaven's sake, have fun. Yeah, have fun. I so love you. Oh, and I wanted to show you one thing. See this shirt? It's one of my favorites. We have Hong Kong here. Hong Kong, I worked in Hong Kong for 12 years as a professor of psychology at the university, but that Hong Kong is the Orient. It is the Orient, and if you like, a crossroads between East and West, living together. 1997 was the year of the changeover from the British rule to China rule, and I worked for a number of years before and after that time, and there was no real problem, although a lot of the people there still have difficulty with the politics. And I used to play rugby, and if you know rugby as a game, that can be quite rough. But as a boy, I loved rugby. Sport was one of the things where I could feel my body and use it in a kind of extreme, to get through my youthful exuberance. And I love rugby. I don't like the competitive side, but I love playing. I love the contact and the physicality of it. And so it fulfilled something for me. And of course, I got bumps and bruises and a couple of injuries, which have twigged and come up as pain from time to time. War wounds, if you like. But it was my activity and it was my joy. It was part of my joy. So all the experiences we've had in our life all play a part to bring us here. And that's just one. That's just one. My great feeling for the bringing together of East and West. My love of change, the changeover, 1997. Rugby as physicality and vitality and connection to my body and to earth. They all play a part. They play a part in who I am now. And they play a part in the Ascension. So there are all kinds of metaphors in your life which tell you the glory of why you're here and why you are experiencing what you're experiencing. You, us, learning to dance together, each doing our own dance. Sometimes it's a bit wobbly because we're doing a slightly different rhythm, and there can be a clash, but it's all good. We all end up falling down on the ground in the middle, rolling around in a heap of laughter. Enough is enough. And so I leave you with my joy. And so it is.